Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, feel free to contact me. Those of you who have properties to sell, you can also contact me. If you're looking for a property to buy and you don't trust the market out there, because you know they have a lot of schemas going around now. False deed, false agreements. When you don't pay money, you can't find them. Feel free to contact us. 339-1670 or 238-6716. And for those of you who lend your friend and your family your cash, hard-earned cash, and you cannot get it back, feel free to contact Real Talk, that collection department, and we will be glad to assist you in any way. I want to say a special good night to you viewers of Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago, up the Caribbean and around the globe. Those of you that are on our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, like and share as we go live. Those of you on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. And that is TT Real Talk. Thus far, we are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. From 6 to 8, we are the most viewed thus far. And bringing news to you from 7 to 8, we are the 3rd best news forecast in Trinidad and Tobago. So viewers, I want to thank you once more for joining us tonight, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. As we go live, remember, feel free to call in 238-6716. Let me hear what you have to say. Election is Monday. Election is Monday in Trinidad and Tobago, the 10th of August, 2020. Now, it would have been so nice if we could have CARICOM observers in Trinidad and Tobago. It would have been so good. Remember what Prime Minister is saying, that we can't afford them. We can't afford them. And then when the S do hit Trinidad and Tobago, it's because the CARICOM secretary would pay the advisors or the observers to come to Trinidad to observe the 2020 general election. But did you know, I'm taking you all back to 2015. Did you all know that our present Prime Minister, who governs Trinidad presently, demanded that the CARICOM observers come to Trinidad and Tobago back in 2015? Listen this. Listen this. In a conference dated Sunday the 24th of May 2015, Dr. Keith Rowley was opposition leader of PNM. During that time, he called on CARICOM observers to oversee affairs during the 2015 general election in Trinidad and Tobago. He called on the observers to ensure that the election was a fair one. Listen to this recording.
I will be asking CARICOM to supply observers to ensure that the government with a record like this government does not interfere with the operations of the Elections and Boundaries Commission, and that the elections to come will be free and fair.
Now viewers, that was the 25th of May, the 24th of May, my mistake, 2015, where he was asking CARICOM to send the observers to observe the 2015 general election with the UNC and the PNM. Now listen this. According to Terence Dialsing, the health minister, it cost them $200,000 per person to keep them in quarantine for 14 days. Listen this. Guyana had CARICOM observers. Monday coming on the 10th of August 2020 is general election in Trinidad and Tobago. And you tell me why the observers could not come to Trinidad. Who did not want them in Trinidad and Tobago? CARICOM is a wide span. It's a big organization. And let me tell you something. I am definitely sure that they had money to pay for the observers to come to Trinidad and Tobago to observe 2020 general election in Trinidad. I am definitely sure. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Good night, Mr. Saeed. I've been listening to Keith Rowley on the TV, and every time this man talks, he talks about race. He's the most racist man. I have been living more than 86 or 87 years, and I have been listening to these people, and Rowley is, I call him a racist. He always talking race, and he blaming Kamala for race, which is a bad thing.
Thank you, caller. Now, viewers, each viewer have their say on our show, but as long as you stay within the guideline and don't respect our media code, don't disrespect our media code. It would have been so nice to have observers in Trinidad and Tobago. It would not cost CARICOM anything to send them. But somebody didn't want them in Trinidad. Somebody. Because if the Minister of Health spending about $200,000 to quarantine people for 14 days, don't you think the CARICOM could way pass $200,000 per person? We're talking about a big organization. We ain't talking about Trinidad and Tobago. So if you are this Fire Friday tonight, feel free to call in. Let us know what is taking place in your area, because after Monday in Trinidad and Tobago, all works that is taking place right now, I am sure there will be a go-slow. It's Trinidad I'm from. It's Trinidad I'm born. It's in Trinidad I have my TV show. And it's viewing right around the world. But I am sure after election, you see all the rush to pave road, and all the rush to give out jobs, and little this and little that and little the next. I want to hear Tuesday night on the 11th, when we keep Real Talk, how many people are going to call in and say work stop in the area? How many people? Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Ali, after the Prime Minister was in Saieed Ali addressing the people, will you believe Roger Monroe, when he started to speak, someone who writes out the speech, you know the man can read it? I want you to go back on the clip and you're going to see for yourself. When the man started to speak, the Prime Minister bowed his head until he finished. He's on the Roland, Sinanan, watching him and he was the man face. Good. All the man saying correctly was so for Saieed Ali, but all the balancing thing is just fumbling. I know this man to be a moment like Johnny. I don't know where he come from. Go back on the clip and you're going to see for yourself, Mr. Ali. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So it's Fire Friday, we lighten it up. Because come Monday, the 10th of August, Trinidad and Tobago is either the PNM remain in power or the UNC in power. But we are going to have a Prime Minister. Caller, good night.
Saeed, good night.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, why can't we see the letter where the people said that they cannot come? Why isn't that letter published to the public?
Thank
why
you.
Why is it given to Mrs. Bissessor, who asked for it? She is the opposition leader.
She have a right to get a copy, yes.
She is entitled
yes.
to have an ask for that that letter, because if it was the other way around,
Thank you, my
that man would have
dear.
been cursed to publish it or to give it to them.
Thank
I
you.
also read in the newspapers where they tore down some UNC stickers.
Yes.
This nonsense been going on since Eric Williams' days with PNM and DLP. Who used to be pulling bonds for who and
Yes,
pulling
yes, yes.
for
Well,
posters. This
my-
is 2020. We shouldn't be behaving. I think we should have been more
Civilized. Yes.
than this. No. Whoever wins, they ought to win. It's as simple as that. Somebody got to run the country.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Pull back the video again. Play back the voice note. Trinidad and Tobago, I want to let you understand. I want to let you understand. On Sunday, 24th of May 2015, this is what Mr. Keith Rowley had to say back then. Run it.
So I will be asking CARICOM to supply observers to ensure that the government with a record like this government does not interfere with the operations of the Elections and Boundaries Commission, and that the elections to come will be free and fair.
So they wanted fear. Don't tell me CARICOM send you a letter and you the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and you're telling the population that you're not going to show them the letter, and you're also telling them because I am the Prime Minister you all will take what I am saying. The people took what you saying and you say we're not closing down petrol train. Almost 4,000 something workers was on the breadline. Well, come now, man. Let me tell you something. I'm not on no political party, you know. But you see where the fact is concerned, coming to Trinidad and Tobago is a different story. Where is the letter that CARICOM sent you? Publish the letter that CARICOM sent to you. Because I am the Prime Minister, I am going to show you all the letter. Monday's election, not an observer in Trinidad and Tobago. Because CARICOM said they may have no money to quarantine the observer. You think we're talking about Trinidad and Tobago? We're talking about a big organization who's sending observers to other countries. Publish the letter. You see, I'm taking the opportunity to tell you all now. That is what he said back in 2015. Five years up the road, we have another election in Trinidad and Tobago. And you telling us CARICOM sent you a letter stating that it costing too much. Call a good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Hello, good night. Saeed, good night.
You're live on Real Talk.
Okay, they're talking about the UNC sharing things. So right now in the Villages Mount Lambert and Mount Hope, they have a Mustang sharing water tank and water pumps. So they must look at it both ways to it.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. We have an ad to run, but nevertheless, after the break, we'll be right back.
Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers for all your 4x4, SUV and car accessories. We also have in stock a large variety of rims to suit all your vehicular needs, new arrivals of 4x4 off-road accessories, and we are the sole distributor of TWI 4x4 accessories. Check us out at number 3 Hassan Ali Trace, South Lower Barraport, or contact us at 654-5234, 289-4901, 271-3519 or 360-8773. We guarantee the best customer service, best deals, and definitely the best wheels. Martha Imports Limited. We put our customers first. Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. So, all the talky talk Let me talk about carrying lands now for the workers. A lot of lands throughout Trinidad and Tobago, ex-Caroni workers supposed to have lands. That is what they said. We have him on the line? We have on the line Rakib Mohammed, former President General of the Trinidad Sugar Boilers Association and Chairman of ex-Caroni Workers Association in Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Rakib, good night, sir.
Good night, sir. Good night.
I do want to thank you for taking the time out to join us on Real Talk, just to clarify some questions and answers. So before we go further, Mr. Rakib, tell us about the Caroni lands. What is the process that you all have been through thus far, and how many workers or ex-Caroni workers got land from Caroni thus far?
Well, Saieed,
I feel I realize we're having a better problem there. But ex-Caroni workers in Trinidad and Tobago supposed to get what belongs to them. They're supposed to get what belongs to them, what was promised to them. But up to now, let him call him back and see if we could get you on the line. A lot of people have been calling me, Saieed, we are not getting our land. European Union paid money for sugar workers to receive, and we did not receive. Mr. Rakib, are you there?
yes, I am, sir.
All right, go ahead and enlighten us a little bit.
Okay. I was ex-Caroni workers who did not receive their residential agricultural. So far,
Mr. Rakib, we are having some problems. I feel you might have to hang up and call back. We are having some problems hearing you. But ex-Caroni workers, they have money to collect, they have land to collect, and nothing does far. Nothing does far. On a weekly basis, a group of workers, they do contact me. They do contact me to voice their concern. The money was paid from EU, European Union, to the present administration presently, and they did not get nothing. They did not get nothing. You know, it's sad. It's sad to know that the Caroni workers worked. They toiled. And to enjoy the benefit now of their labor, they have nothing. Nothing. Is there any ex-Caroni worker who would like to call in? Feel free to call in 238-6716. Let us see how long you have your land to collect or your money to collect. Monday's election. Now, I will tell you something. If the present administration did see about the Caroni workers proper, it's not about race, you know. If they did see about the Caroni workers proper, I am definitely sure Caroni workers would have been voting them. I am definitely sure for that. But nevertheless, as we move on tonight, viewers, feel free to call in 238-6716. It's Fire Friday. Let's hear what the administration have done in the last 5 years and why we should give them a chance. Keep in mind, if the UNC or any other party were in power presently and the election would have been Monday, I would have been doing the very same thing I am doing now. Caller, good night. Hello? Hello? So we're moving on now to Petrotrin. Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali stated that he would not be rushing to sign any agreement with Patriotic Energies and Technologies before the general election dated August 10th, 2020. All the time there was a rush, all of a sudden they pause. They pause. He further stated that this agreement would be made only if it is in best interest of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Are you hear that? He further stated that this agreement would be made only if it is in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago. If Trinidad and Tobago have interest from it, then he's going to sign it. Now, because the election is Monday, it's the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago. But when it's shut down, when the refinery and petroleum was shut down, it wasn't in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, I'm an ex-Carney worker.
Welcome to Real Talk.
Thank you very much. And I must say, I applaud your efforts in highlighting the voices of the people who are unheard for so many years. So we are now celebrating or marking 17 years for the closure of Carney. Myself, Rakib, Mr. Nirvan, all of us, we have been trying to highlight the plight that were taking place from from that closure. Now, what most people will not know is that when that closure took place, it was one of the worst things that could ever happen to our country. You would notice after that, you are seeing crime spiking.
Yes.
The entire our community, everything went dead. I'm a pundit also, and I've performed many funerals. People died out of grief. There was alcoholism, suicides. It was horrible. And I think up to this point, we are still not recovered from that. In 2010, now let me go back. So when the closure took place, we celebrated that on August the 1st. CPEC contracts were running as usual. We were there. We had to go through many trials, educated people. We had to go and pack bottles, myself including. Children who parents were planning to send them to study. All of us, we faltered. But we made it. Our people will always survive. Unfortunately, the people that we depended upon, they failed us horribly. In 2005, we had the then union leader who, when negotiations were taken, there was little or no activity to support us.
Who was the union leader back then?
That was Mr. Rudranath Indar Singh.
Okay.
In 2005, he got the Shakolia Silver Medal and accepted it with pride that he closed Carney, and he did a good job, and he said he accepted that with no apologies. And while we are quoting and we are hoping that the incoming government will help us, these things are like daggers in the hearts of the sugar workers, and we put them back again to betray us.
Okay, so under this administration, what promise did they make to you all?
Well, the promises never materialized. They said we will get our lands, and that's the basic things we are asking for. We want what was rightfully promised us.
But remember the EU was owing the Carney workers.
Correct.
No.
Little or nothing was done. Little or no activity.
But what I understand is that this present administration, the EU made their final payment to them.
Right, and Mr. Rakib and the union leaders, they can expand further on that.
Okay.
Right, but I'm going to the very basics here.
I understand. But nothing was given to Olia up to this present time as we speak.
Yes, we are still awaiting our lands after 17 years. We are still awaiting to hear some word. What worries me the most is I've performed many funerals for the carnival workers, the carny workers, and they didn't live to see what they worked hard for after 17 years. And that is very hurtful.
It is.
In 2010, we worked tirelessly with all the different political parties. I tend not to be affiliated, but we worked with each one of them, gave them a chance. And we are hoping now that in this incoming party, they will help us and hear our voices. We really need to get what is due to us.
Now, what did the Minister of Agriculture, Clarence Rambarat, said to you all concerning lands and money owed to you all?
Well, the story always is that we are working on it and you're going to get it. You're going to get it. And that's a consistent story. But of course, each person is looking after their own interests in all the different political parties. So it's the poor man who suffers, not the big time political people who have their people rallying behind them. It's the poor man that suffers.
My friend, I do thank you for calling in and highlighting your plight. As I say, we will try our best to highlight the matter, and thank you once more for calling in. So you see, viewers, we are bringing the cries of the citizen in the light. We are not going to hide them in the dark. Every time the election will come around, vote for us, put us in power. We will do this, we will do that, we will do the next. Every 5 years is something different. We showed a video, 10 years now. Party come, party go, the road remains the same. It remains the same. That is why we had almost a week. I was telling you all, call in, let us know what your councillor did, what your MP did. Do they deserve a second term in office? Because you can't be there for 5 years and ain't know the road bad. Because that's the same bloody road you walked on when you were campaigning.
And that is the P&M.
So you can't come and tell me, well, you didn't know the road is bad and you didn't know you had water. When you went to campaign, you knew all that because the people came out and tell you what was going on for 4 years and 5 years. Call her good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Saeed, Carry Limited 1975 Limited closed, right? Cane farmers. This present administration closed Carry Limited. And them still owing the cane farmer money. And they are paying the cane farmer their money, boy. And who closed Carry Limited? This present administration closed Carry Limited. So when them going to pay the money, they had the farmers suffering their money and they never give them that money, boy.
Thank you, my friend. Now listen to this. Dr. Rowley acknowledged that there are still issues with the refinery and they are not committed at any cost. He also went on to say that he would not be making any or this decision around election time. Dr. Rowley noted that his government restructured Petrotrin and the outcome of it is that Heritage is making profit, paying taxes and employing citizens. So why they did not restructure Petrotrin and the refinery under the state? That is my thing. You restructured it under somebody else. Under somebody else. Because somebody else is making the millions. And the millions could have been coming from Petrotrin and the refinery. If I had money, I buy the refinery. Buy the refinery. Because after $100 million scandal that rocked Trinidad and Petrotrin, where Petrotrin did do an audit and they came up with documents stating that there was a scandal. Boom, the refinery going down. Boom, about 4,800 workers lost their job. Till it's Fire Friday. A firing it up. Election is Monday. Tomato tracing Diego Martin. Take a look at this video. Water for all. Water for all. Look at that. Look at that. Water for all. That is tomato tracing Diego Martin. Look at that. So you feel that jokey? You had the video with the... Now remember when I was telling earlier? Let me tell you something. Now it's election time. All I get on free more to drink in all the pipe. Look at that. Run it. That is one of my workers' house. And that came out his tap. And it didn't come from his tank. Look at that. Free Morby, Milo. Eh? Look at it. You go tell me in 2020 that is the kind of water we getting in our tap? But let me tell you something. If it was any other country, lawyers done writing letters to state companies already. Take what I'm telling all you. Call her good night.
Good night, sir.
Go right ahead.
The thing that upset me with this current Prime Minister is all right when he was doing it, but I'm blaming all of this on the press and the media. They used to take Basdeo Pandey, they used to take Kamla Prasad Bisasa to task. I don't know if they have been bought out or if they are just afraid of Keith Raul to ask questions. When PNM had that skit in Makoya, when a woman was wearing a yellow sari, the woman was of East Indian descent, and the gorillas was pulling out her clothes. They was laughing, was enjoying it. Wasn't that an insult to people of East Indian origin? When this man, what he named Hilton Sandy or whatever, talk about Calcutta ship must not say, all of them was applauded. Wasn't that a frontal attack on people of East Indian? Now we had the hypocrisy to say if he is re-elected again, he would give them $500 million, that is Agriculture Society. Saieed, there are people in Arangwes with this flood that they had earlier on, the big massive flood. Then where Arangwes is the food basket. These people was begging for money to get to buy back some seed to plant, and he could not give him. Now you tell me if they re-elect him? What kind of nonsense? You're talking about COVID-19. You spent $23 billion, or how much money you spent when there was only imported case. Now when we have a frontal attack, he said it is not raging, but you know who was raging? The raging bull was raging. When you have this now, we must learn Dayal Singh, the Honorable Dayal Singh, a man with integrity, as they so claim. We must learn to live with COVID-19. So what about all these people you was locking down and this and that and what have you? Isn't it all of us comical of this government? People.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, my friend. So now I didn't get a chance to touch on this yesterday, but I will touch on it tonight. SEA students are now home. SEA students are now home until the date for SEA. They will go and write their SEA. So listen to this now. We have the husband working, we have the wife working. Who will teach the children at home? Who will teach the children at home? Where is Trinidad and Tobago Education Minister? Where is he? Through the whole COVID-19 epidemic in Trinidad and Tobago, we hardly saw this man at the front of any media briefing. Where is him? Where is him? I want to know, where is our education minister of Trinidad and Tobago? Some of you all might say, Saeed, why are you calling on your education minister? He's supposed to be delivering a speech to Trinidad and Tobago concerning SEA. But where is he? Where is he? Is he hiding? Is he on vacation? Is he still a minister? I don't know, I'm asking. And I'm sure you all would want to know also. Caller, good night.
Good night. Have a good night. My name is Rakib Mohammed.
Rakib?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm hearing you clearly now. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yes, I am hearing you. Now,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
what is the process thus far, and how long have you all been waiting on your land?
Okay, Saif, I want to be as quick as possible, but I know your time is short. Saif, Pioneer has closed down since 2003 by the PNM government at that time, and we were awarded a package, a visa package, which included a cash lump sum, a parcel of land for agricultural purpose and a parcel of land for residential purpose. Until today, we have not, over 4,500 workers have not received those packages as yet. I want to tell you, Saif, and I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago that after spending $3 billion by successive governments, from the PNM government to the present PN government, 1.8 by the PNM and 1.2 by the People's Partnership. And today we still have 4,500, which is over 55% of the workers yet to receive their part of the package.
Wow.
Also, we have some monetary aspects. And the first one I would like to deal with is the pension reserve fund that was prepared in 2006 by the Patrick Manning administration. Now, that pension reserve fund, when workers were sent home in 2003, they were not receiving their pension. So the pension fund was underfunded, and the Manning administration put in $360 million. $360 million to fund that pension fund. After that pension fund was funded, there were $120 million remained in that fund. And John Rahal, former Agriculture Minister, the Honorable John Rahal, stood up in Parliament and it was reported in Hansard in 2006 that ex-Carney workers would be receiving a second monetary benefit in 10 years because we, the PNM government, has put into a trust fund $120 million, which will mature in 2016 to the 1st of May. The 1st of May 2016 has passed and gone. We had reminded, when I said I would thank my brother Nirvan Marat from the Ulster General Workers Trade Union, and myself, we had articulated these problems of carrying since 2012. So in 2016, it was reported to the Kamla Prasad State Administration. And 5 years had passed, and we got little redress from that government. In addition to the pension reserve fund, there was the sweetener plan, which was initiated by the Agricultural Development Bank and the Trust of Trinidad and Tobago, whereby we were we were invested in a fund for 6 years. And after 5 years, we had invested all our money in that fund. And the PNM government at that time, had that, according to Commander Fasad, on the 27th of July 2014, in the Philippine Recreation Law, when he said that the ex-army workers were gone by the unit trust and agricultural development bank, and we are going to pay some $50 million to the ex-army workers. So that fee has not been paid. Another important part is, in order for you to qualify the ex-army worker or a cane farmer, for you to qualify for a sugar welfare loan, you were supposed to be working in the industry for 2 years as a seasonal or regular worker, or you were supposed to be producing 20 tons of cane to sell to Carney in order to qualify for that loan.
Wow.
We had up to 100 people who were owing sugar welfare loan from 2003. And we had argued with the People's Partnership Government in 2013 that in order to qualify for that loan, you had to be working in the industry. And they had agreed in principle, I want to make it very, very clear, that they had agreed in principle to write off all loans as soon as Carney closed down in 2013 and reimburse all those who have paid this loan. And it would have cost the government at that time less than $20 million.
Wow. Now, Rakib, what I want to ask you is that under this present administration, the EU made their final payment, right?
Saeed, I would not be able to speak much on the EU because EU payment at $2 belongs to the cane farmers. And we would not like to involve ourselves with that. I can only talk on behalf of ex-Carney workers whom we represent.
Okay, okay. Now, Rakib, I do want to thank you for taking the time and joining with us to throw out your plea so the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago would understand what the Carney workers went through. So I do say thank you for joining us once more, and we will keep in touch. So viewers, that was Mr. Rakib Mohammed, the former President General of the Sugar Boilers Association and Chairman of Ex-Carney Workers Association of Trinidad and Tobago. So just imagine that. Look how much money, look the kind of figures he is saying. You have a call on the line? Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
I would say this COVID-19 talking about is an election gimmick. It's not, they're fighting, so they can't come out to vote.
Yes, a lot of people is frightened coming out to vote on Monday. Thank you, caller. But a lot of, we've been getting a lot of calls. A lot of people say inside we are scared to vote because of this thing that is taking place, this pandemic. Now up to this afternoon, a short while ago, it reached to 225 persons. Just imagine that. Was 207? 207 and it got up to 225. Just imagine that. So if the Minister of Health don't have a briefing tomorrow and Sunday, imagine come Monday what would happen. Imagine. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. We just have a to run and we'll be right back after that.
Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers for all your 4x4, SUV and car accessories. We also have in stock a large variety of rims to suit all your vehicular needs, new arrivals of 4x4 off-road accessories, and we are the sole distributor of TWI 4x4 accessories. Check us out at number 3 Hassan Ali Trace, South Lower Barrackport, or contact us at 654-5234, 289-4901, 271-3519 or 360-8773. We guarantee the best customer service, best deals and definitely the best wheels. Martha Imports Limited. We put our customers first. Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. So we're moving on to NEDCO and some grants now. So listen this. On Wednesday, 5th of August 2020, small business started collecting their relief grant from the National Entrepreneurship Development Company Limited, that is NIDCO. NIDCO chairman, Clary Ben, distributed the first 5 checks. He noted that as part of the COVID-19 relief effort, this grant will provide entrepreneurs who were affected by the pandemic a maximum of 20,000 TT. The money distributed will aid in assisting business to cover expense such as salary, rent, etc. Affected business are invited to visit their website for further details. So all small business owners, you could go to the NIDCO website and see if you could sign up to get your relief grant. At least something coming out of it. The election is Monday. We don't know what is taking place. We have a call on the line. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Said.
Go right ahead.
The cane farmers is not the only one. BWIA closed down around the same time. And it have a man living like Brian Nancy offer we pension surplus money. And government come, government go, we can't get a cent still. Why it is? Me, I fed up and said, government come, government go, I ain't voting for nobody. Because Rowley raised the pension.
Yes.
Kamala wouldn't say she would cut it, because when she gets out of the same pension, she will get too. Them like the money, but they're making people pressure to get their own money. Not me, Kamala. Bye.
Thank you, my friend. So, see, viewers, these are the cry of the people on the ground. These are their cry. Now, these MPs, they are begging you to put us in power. When you put them in power, they collecting a salary between $30,000 to $50,000 a month. They getting perks. They getting traveling allowance. They getting meals allowance. They getting tax break on vehicles. Imagine that. And when you make an appointment to see these individuals who beg you like fools, running down you all to beg all you, vote for me, I go help you, you go get water, we go see about your pension, we go drop the price in grocery. When you go to meet them in their office, what are they saying to you? What are they saying to you? We'll fill out this form and we will investigate. When you leave it right there, that remaining right there for 5 years. For 5 years. For 5 years. So are we being bettered? Are they bettering us? In what way? In what way? But come Monday, you have a choice. You have a choice. The UNC were there for 5 years. Look at their production. The PNM was there for 5 years. Look at their production. And you vote accordingly. I am not telling you who to vote for. Because at the end of the day, sides still have to get up. I have to pay 35% now on corporation tax. Imagine that. Call a good night.
Hi, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
You know, WHO has given Trinidad and Tobago $20 million US to fight COVID, you know that, right? Well, Well, I saw in the article in the Guardian today that the IDB, you know the IDB bank? The bank is expected to disburse more than US $100 million this year to combat the impact of COVID-19.
Yes.
So 120 million US from WHO, 100 million from the IDB bank. Multiply by 7.
Thank you.
Listen, Mr. Saeed.
Yes.
I also come across an article in the newspapers, but I hear nobody comment on it.
Talk to me.
That Sandals intend to build a new resort in St. Vincent. And they're spending 100 million US of their own money. Hear about that?
I want to say nothing as yet, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what will happen after the next government come into Trinidad. Thank you, caller. Let me tell you something. When the present administration went into power, they said it had money to run Trinidad and Tobago for 3 days. How long after did they buy a painting for $3 million? How long after? So the painting was more important than paying the workers for 3 days in Trinidad and Tobago. That is facts. That is facts. According to the central bank governor, there's about $70 billion the present administration spent in 5 years. Could somebody say if a school is built, could somebody say what were built and opened in 5 years to benefit the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? We have schools put down, 5% to complete to open. We have hospitals put down just to open. And what is the problem? I don't care who built the damn thing. As long as it is open for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to benefit, because it's our tax-paying dollars that is paying contractors hundreds of millions of dollars to build the bloody centers. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I was looking at television and I saw some ads this morning. The UNC had an ad set at 200. Then a CPN bring out an ad with that money. Some old 100. Where they get that money? Get that money carried box or something.
Thank you, caller. Millions of dollars are being spent on buildings throughout Trinidad and Tobago. And because it's a UNC billet, you don't want to open it. Because a PNM billet, some party want to open it. Oh God! All the begging people to put all that there, and when all reach there, all don't care about the citizens. Why is that? Why is that? And then you all will make one set of ads and banners, and we care about the people, and buildings to open and no progress. No progress. La Hoketa, early childhood center, I believe. But if you see the condition of that structure, and if you see the condition of the surroundings, all the center have to do is open to the public. That's all. That is all. But our education minister in Trinidad and Tobago seems to take a back seat. Seems to take a back seat. A woodwork man is the education minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Who vexed lost, you know. But that's the facts at the end of the day. That is the facts at the end of the day. Hmm. 2015. Our Prime Minister, President Prime Minister, asking CARICOM observers. I will go to them. Let them come into Trinidad to observe, to make sure there's a fair election. Today he is saying he got a letter from CARICOM and he will not show the citizens of this country the letter. He will not show us. But because he's the Prime Minister, he wants us to believe what he is saying is true. But we believe you say you wasn't closing on petrol train too. But nevertheless, viewers, we are out of time for tonight. I would like to shout out Matapal. I think it's Laldeo Matapal in the US. Colonel, good night to you, my friend. I just remembered our friend in the US. So Laldeo, better known as Matapal, good night to you. I know you're locked down from the US. To you and your family from Real Talk staff, good night to you, my friend. So viewers, we are out of time, but nevertheless, we will be with you Monday night. It is election night. We are not going to talk any politics Monday night. No politics. Be safe. Enjoy the weekend. When you're campaigning, don't drink your old rum and look for problems, please. You might end up inside the prison and you mightn't get a vote. And your vote is important. So be safe until we meet again Monday night. Ila anta rahamazuro kela ila alama. Watch, observe, and then cast your vote. Good night.